today. Yes.
Praseed was also supposed to join us.
Yes. And
Hello. Do you want to start?
Hello.
I can start, but let's wait for Praseed. No?
Hello.
He's not there. So, how do you want to start?
Okay, we'll just, I think the conversation was first of all very entertaining. I think people who were not in our group missed out on something really very interesting. Um, the future is obviously the AI search agents, right? Already a lot of AI search as well as AI driven research is happening on your agents, and the consumer behavior has already moved on, and people are still figuring out how to kind of manage that. So our conversation, I think, started with articulating what is the quantifiable, let's say, traffic impact or cost per lead impact, and so on and so forth. And the numbers were actually significant double-digit percentages, right? And I think broadly, when we were thinking about the framework that we thought was, the first is that when we are talking about the system, the search engine system versus how a generative engine works, the structure in which the websites are kind of indexed itself is very different. So almost 99% of websites or whatever you have out there on the internet is not really designed well for the generative agents to pick up all the content that's out there. So there needs to be a big shift in how you are just structuring the web pages. The second thing was about funnels, right? The way the search-driven funnels used to work had their own small nuances, which is very different from how a generative engine funnel works. Because like from a search-driven funnel, as soon as you click, you could land on a web page. There could be an immediate pop-up that you need to fill up your email or something, or a phone number to access the website. And you couldn't see the content till you give that pass through that gate by giving in your details, and then the telecallers would do their job as well using those details. But that does not happen when you are doing in generative engine search, right? You are actually receiving a lot of content. You are already, you've gone quite deep into the consideration stage before even you've passed on any lead to the brand. So the funnel itself has changed. The third thing is, like, if you are not kind of putting your structure, your content, and your narrative out there for the generative engines to consume and hence showcase in various queries that people are asking, then they are prone to hallucinations based on whatever data is out there. Maybe it's because of limited exposure, maybe it's because of limited information, maybe it's because of lack of structured content feeding into the AI agents. But you need to do it so that the hallucination guardrails can be enforced by you for your brand, by influencing what's there. And the fourth interesting part was that there was a nuance around the fact that India has two kinds of user journeys that has happened over the last 20 years. One cohort of users is people who had access to internet, access to desktops much earlier. They were using search. They evolved from Google search and kind of then went onto the feed scrolling behavior or swipe up behavior. There is another cohort of users who came in the last, let's say, 6-7 years with the cheap data connectivity. They are mobile first users. They don't know how to search. For the first time using voice search, they will start searching. And these two users are very, very different in how they search, what they trust, etc. So when you're designing your kind of generative engine strategy, you need to differentiate the two users very, very differently. Yeah, I'd want Shagufta and, sorry. Yeah.
So firstly, I would like to thank the entire MMA team for maybe having me and the entire organizing the entire event. I'll try to keep it short. I think AI is the next big weapon in the industry, and I think what everyone in the room as a marketer or as CMOs, what they're trying to achieve is that how do you try to attribute it, or how do you try to justify the entire spends what you're doing into AI with respect to the business what you're developing. So I think that is something what everyone's trying to achieve, and I think that is what we are looking out from partners to give us that. Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting takeaway for me. Since we do that, right? We are the tool that will provide you, that strategy to get your brand on top of AI search. Another interesting thing is that people were thinking that maybe just the top of the funnel will be on AI search. Just maybe the awareness part of it will be taken care of by AI search. But what we've realized through our research is not just awareness, it's also people comparing product. And eventually, not immediately, but eventually in maybe in less than 1 year, people will be making purchases on AI. And if you're still thinking that this is something that we should invest in next year or 6 months later, etc., I think as marketers, we'll be very far behind. And we need to be there where the consumers are. And the shift is very clear from blue links to, very consolidated answers, which now people do not have the time to go through all the blue links and make decisions. So they're making decisions on AI, and then the purchase is happening outside. Soon the purchase is going to move to AI. And where will your brand be is something that we all needed to think about. And we said we'll think about it and he'll come back.
Yeah, and I think there was some demands for more data so that marketers can actually justify to their
No pressure.
CFOs and CEOs what's the ROI. But yeah, I think we'll watch out for the space that Kirtiga and MMA is creating those studies and more understanding for the community. And we'll watch out for the space.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kirtiga, for putting it together, and thanks, Monica, for putting it together. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.